Hello everyone. I'm here to work on my Serendipity book, and I thought I would do just a little bit of my process. I have a few different ways that I go about doing this. Just depends on my mood, I suppose. And so I thought I would show you some of the things that I do and just kind of do some glue therapy with you all today. So the first thing I did, I decided I was going to use this little Serendipity book. I can't remember how many pages. I put it together in January, started working on it, and didn't get very far and haven't worked on it since. So it is just junk pieces of paper put together in a small signature, some weird little stuff that I had around. And I will be using this as my Serendipity book today. I also got out some of my collage fodder. My basket is way too big and it becomes overwhelming for me. So I did go and I got out a few things, and of course I'll go through this later when I show my process. I like to narrow down my choices just a little bit because it does get overwhelming. I get overwhelmed when I've got too much. And so limiting my choices helps me not be too stressed. And I seem to like it better at the end. Now here is my large and medium bits, and this is the size of page I am working on. So large is relative to the project that you're working on. If I was working on something a little bit larger, my larger bits would be a little bit larger. Okay, so that makes a difference. And then I always put my tiny and small-ish stuff separately because it gets lost in with the larger stuff. This way I can find some small little details instead of going through trying to find the little bits that have disappeared somewhere amongst all that. So I do separate those a little bit. All right, so the first thing that I do is I do take out just a little bit of fodder. I get caught up, all right, when I am choosing fodder. You know, I've got an hour to do something, and this is usually what happens to me. I get my big old basket of stuff out, and I start going through, and oh, that's cool, that's cool, that's cool, that's cool. And then, you know, before I know it, my hour is up, and all I've done is chosen a bunch of stuff, and I haven't gotten anything done. So we're going to not do that this time. But anyway, so just collect a few bits that you want, and make sure that your things that you're ready to glue down are ready to glue down. If you have a bunch of stuff, if your collage fodder kind of looks like that, and you have to stop the gluing therapy process to trim things down or to tear bits off, it kind of takes you out of the zone. So I suggest once you gather what you want to use, you know, look at what you have and make sure that it is what I call glue ready. And you can do this in front of the TV at night or whatever, but you know, make sure that when you grab that piece, you don't have to stop and cut and make it the way you want it for your collage or your glue book or whatever you're doing. Make it ready just to glue down. So I really like the text here, but I'm not real fond of all that black. It kind of distracts from it. So I would get it ready to glue that way. So it's just ready to glue down, and I don't have to stop or whatever. So trimming things off. That is really a great collage piece, but it is a bit busy. The background of it is pretty busy. And so I would probably do something with that, except at this point, I don't know what I'm going to be putting it with. So it's one of those, I'm going to not do anything with it for now and then see what happens with that later. So I'm just going to put that to the side. And then something like this too. Now you can use this way as a large bit, say. You can put it down on, and then you can put things over it instead of cutting it out. It's just, so, you don't have to cut out every little thing, but, you want it to be ready to glue down so that you don't stop your process. When you get into the zone, you don't want to stop and start cutting things out, tearing things out, or whatever. Something like that, you can put on the bottom and then kind of put things around it. Anyway, so get your collage fodder, your glue book fodder, ready to glue down. And one more thing, I was getting things together, having some fun with things, and I love Mona. And a lot of people would probably use this just as it is. But to make it more interesting, I actually had two of them. To make it more interesting, more unique, more my own, to play around with it just a little bit. And I did get a little bit sidetracked and start messing around a whole lot. I went ahead and cut her out. Cut the background of her out so that she was just a piece of collage. And the reason I did that is because she ends up being a little bit different when you change her background. It's a lot of fun to mess around. Here's some wings for her. To mess around with different kinds of backgrounds. It adds something interesting. It makes it unique. It makes it different. It makes it fun. I love cutting things out and fiddling around and looking at different backgrounds for little bits. And it just changes everything. It changes the collage. It changes the glue book. You can make it really funky or traditional, or it doesn't matter what colors you use. If you want to use neons or just regular stuff. But you see, everything goes with this. All these different kinds of pieces work well with her. She's still Mona. She's obviously still Mona, but look how fun different backgrounds work with her. It's got crazy. I cut her out and I started going through my fodder to find some little bits, and I kept coming across things. Oh, that would work. That would work. Almost everything I pulled out. She goes with everything. and it's because I cut away her normal background and now she just kind of fits with everything. Had so much fun with this. So get your little bits all ready. And get ready to mix and match and try different things and have fun. It doesn't have to be traditional. It doesn't have to be anything, really. You can try a whole bunch of different things and have fun with that kind of thing. So I just wanted to show you what happens when you get your pieces ready to glue, how things really just pop up and make themselves appear, things that you wouldn't have planned to do. Things just happen, and that's what the serendipity process is all about. Letting things happen by themselves as they want. It's a happy accident kind of thing. You're not planning on making a really cool collage. It's more about the process. It's not about making a pretty project at the end. All right, so there's a few different ways that I go about this process. And so I'm going to do a little bit of each one of them so you can see. There is no right way, no wrong way to do a serendipity book. It's all about the process. It's glue therapy. It's your project. You do what feels the best. You do what feels the right way to do it for you, okay? And it just depends on my mood. I use all these different things. It just depends on my mood on what I do, all right? And having the collage fodder, the glue book fodder that you really like and having it glue ready is really the first thing about, that's a little bit too big. The first thing, you need to have stuff that you like that you're gluing into your book, and that way you'll like your project at the end. All right, so that is very important. Make sure that you like your stuff. All right, so the first one is pretty easy. I've got my gluing magazine. I've got my glue stick. Let me get my baskets out here so I can see. The first one is serendipity is all about not planning. It's random. You let it happen the way it wants to happen. And to do that, you need to not look at your book first and say, okay, I have this page. I need something right there. So you're digging and you're looking for something. That's called planning. What you want to do is grab something. So that's a cool something. And then find a page to put it on. And it doesn't have to be a specific page. It can be just about anything. This has a straight edge on it, and I like to put the straight edges on a straight edge, so I'll put it over here. That's the only reason I changed pages, is because I didn't want a straight edge on a torn edge on the side. So I'm putting that straight edge right in there. Got my little piece of t-shirt. Make sure there's glue on the entire back side of your bit that you're gluing, and make sure there's no air bubbles in there. So that's it. So then say this is number one, okay? You just find one thing that catches your eye, kind of like visual journaling, I suppose. Just one thing. Let's see, something you're not really planning, but you just want something to catch your eye. That's too big, I think. That's a cool piece. All right, so I'm just going to find an empty page and put it on. That already has something on it. Let's put it on this page. And I don't necessarily want the letters to be seen. It is a puzzle. So I'm just going to do it sideways so that it's random and there's no words on it, so it's not really readable anyway, but I'll put it that way. Again, I'm making sure there's no air bubbles in it. And then going on, find something else. Let's see here. Piece of painted paper would be cool. Here's an empty spot. I have a straight edge again, so let me find a straight edge. I guess I can put it that way. Straight edge against straight edge. So that's my first way to go about doing something. I never put things in the same place each time. Put it on one side, put it on the other side. I usually don't put things right smack dab in the middle. I like to put things on the side and kind of build up. So that's it. Just one thing. Find a place for it. Select another thing, something that catches your eye. It doesn't matter what it is. Glue it down. And I don't do a whole page at one time. That makes me start planning things. So I just put one thing down and then try to go to a different page and glue something else down, whatever it may be. All right. So the second way that I go about doing this is, let me just put the cover on that real fast. Going through my collage fodder, finding large, medium, and small. So I'm going to find 5 large little bits because I like to put the large bits down first. That's 1. Let's see, something interesting that I haven't used yet. That's 2. That's 3. We'll put that down. 4. We'll do 4. I don't do this too much of that. So that's my large bits. Now I need 4 medium bits. And sometimes I do just grab a bunch of large bits and go through each page and glue something large down. That's kind of small. 2. And then choose the medium bits. That's kind of a cool bit. Here's another medium bit. And then I want some 4 small bits. Because I don't like to put a small bit down. Here's small-ish. These are tiny, so I'm looking for, here's another small. I don't have a whole lot of focal point type things. I have a bit though, a little bit, not too much. That's kind of small. And then I'll do tiny. 1, 2, like that tree. 3, and that little bit of painted paper. So I have my large, medium, small, and tiny. And I start with my large bits. And usually when I'm doing this, I get my large bits and I go to the page, and I had started doing this already, putting down just 1 large bit to each page. I don't have anything here, so let me put something that's not too large, I suppose. I'll do that one later. I need something kind of medium there. Here's a page that doesn't have anything, so let me just grab one of these and put it down. Here's another page with nothing on it, so I'm just going to randomly glue down a large bit. And with this process, I only allow myself to put one thing down at a time. This makes it really hard to plan. So I have no idea what's going to go on top of that. I'm not planning. Let me put this one down. Not planning. Just gluing, not overthinking, not thinking at all. Just gluing down. And it goes pretty fast when you're not trying to find something that goes with this. These have things on them. Just put that down. Here somewhere. You're not trying to find something that goes with it. And then I go back to my medium bits and I put those on top of large bits. And I'm not really matching things up. I'm not really planning anything specific. I do want the waves to be right side up, so we'll just stick it there. I'm overlapping stuff. Try not to think too hard about anything. Put a little bit of text on this one. I'm going to run out of glue stick. I'm going to have to grab another one. Where are my glue sticks? I'm sorry, I didn't. Should have had a backup glue stick. So I'm just going to put that there. And I'm just using a Staples brand because the Extreme is really hard to get nowadays. So I have started using this Staples and it works pretty well. It's not too expensive, so kind of like that. All right, where's my other medium pieces? Just keep going. Medium bits. I don't want the white and the white together. I want it to be really random, so I'll just put, oh, I like that side better. I'll just put this over here somewhere. And then I go to my small stuff. So I don't take my tiny things and do those first, because after a while those things are going to get covered up, and I like my little bits to show. I like the little bits. I think they're fun. I think they're crazy. I think they make the page really interesting, and so I like them to be on top. So I'm just adding, and I'm not planning. I'm not planning anything. I'm just finding a space to put things down. Don't care if it matches. Don't care if it goes together. In fact, I really don't want it to go together. The more it doesn't go together, I don't want the white with the white. So let me put that someplace else. I guess I could put it there. And I like to put my little details on top. So some of these pages still need some other bits. They don't look quite ready. I saved the tiny little bits to put on the very last. Like I said, I don't like them covered up. Okay, I've got glue on my hands. I don't like them covered up, so I like to leave those for the very last. It's fun to add just little bits to the pages. All right, so that is my second one. Large things, one thing to a page at a time, so I'm not planning anything. All right, so number 3 is sometimes, I don't have a whole lot of time, and this is where I get myself caught up in choosing little bits. It's more of a visual journal type of thing. I just go through my collage fodder and see things that catch my eye and that I want to use. So I just want to select a few bits. That little face there is kind of cool. That's kind of cool. That writing is kind of cool. I want some different sizes. I want anything that really just catches my eye. That's kind of nice. That elephant's interesting. And I have to stop myself after a little bit. That's kind of cool, because a lot of times I will pick too much stuff. It's better to just pick a little bit of stuff, stop, glue those in, and then if you have more time, go back and get some more. So I'm just going to stop at that. And this is a large bit, so I need a large page to put this on, or a page that doesn't have anything on it for the large bits. I want to save my smaller bits so they can be seen. They're not going to get covered up. It's a piece of tissue paper. I like that, being able to see the other piece underneath it. I like that a lot. All right, so I need another page because this is a pretty large bit, and I don't want two pieces of writing to go together, so I'll put it there. That's a part that hasn't had anything on it yet. Large goes down first on the bottom. I guess we'll do it upside down so we can't read it, or it makes it harder to read. Find a different page. This is a kind of a medium bit. Oh, you don't have a whole lot there. So here's a large bit. Let me put this large bit down. These empty pages need larger bits. And I'm not really worried about where they're going or what they're doing or anything. This page needs a large bit, so let me find something large for it. Piece of tissue paper. Love this color. And of course, I was supposed to use this stuff. I wasn't expecting to come across so many empty pages. Let me put it by the spine here. So now that I've got large bits on there, I can put some of these that I found. All right, do like that. Medium-ish bit. And I use up the bits that I have there. Just do it that way. And then when I use those up, go and find some more interesting bits. This is my visual journal process. find a few bits, put them down, find some more bits, add those. It is a fun way to do a glue book. This is kind of a large bit, so let me find a space that doesn't have anything. Put it down. And I'm not gluing as well as I should be. I need to be spending a little bit more time. When I'm not doing a video, I spend a little bit more time putting glue on my bits so that they won't come up, that the edges get covered. And I see that I'm not doing that very well, so I need to slow down just a little bit. All right, so here's a medium little bit, and I just need to find, that'll work perfectly. Find a large bit to put that on top of. And these are kind of small, so I need to find a medium bit to put those on. I'm going to put that there. I'm trying to find a place that doesn't have glue on it. All right. Put lots of glue on. There. This is kind of a medium bit. That would work right there. And that's a small little bit. Do I have any pages that are ready for small bits? I guess that could be. I'm not going to do small yet because I still feel like I need more large and medium bits on. So finished with all of those, and I'm going to try to gather up some large and medium bits, not necessarily small, because I guess I'm not ready for those quite yet. And then I would glue those in. So that is my third different way to do things. All right. So, and then I get caught up in doing it. I get things done pretty quickly that way. I'm not planning. I'm not finding a page. Well, I need to find something here and then digging through trying to find. Instead, I'm gathering a bunch of stuff and then just gluing it in randomly wherever it will fit. I do need to find something medium-ish to put there. And that would work. It's starting to bother me. Let me put something medium-ish there. Just like that. So, just find a few bits, glue them all in, find some more, glue them in. Stop planning. Serendipity is all about those happy accidents. You let it just come together the way it wants to come together, and it's a lot of fun to see how it works. All right. So the fourth way is really random, and sometimes it's hard to do. You put your little bits in maybe a basket or a bag or something, and just kind of dig them and stir them around a little bit and just grab a few little bits like that. We'll grab that one too. So you're not actually picking them out. They're just kind of happy accident coming to the surface. Take a look at what you have. I have some fairly large bits. Actually, this one is almost too large for my page, so I will just tear off a little bit of that so it will actually fit. And then glue those on. This is really random. This is really serendipity style. You just grab a little pinch of medium and large bits, find a space for them. There's a bunch of spaces back here, so let's put some of these large ones back here somewhere. Just glue those in. Wherever they want to go. Glue those down. Here's another little bit. And do make sure you've got glue on your entire little bit. Take the time. Don't do it fast like I'm trying to do. Trying to make this video interesting and not too long, not too detailed. Just kind of want you to get an idea of some different ways to do it. I do like to kind of take my time with stuff like this and not rush myself, because that seems to stress me out a bit. When I am doing this on my own, I am just randomly gluing things down and having quiet time and just doing some glue therapy. It's a little bit too much, so I'm just going to rip it off. I'll just stick it there since it has glue on it. I do try not to rush myself too much, but it does go faster even so. And then this is a small little bit that was in there, so I need to find a spot that's ready for smaller bits, and I really don't have a small bit area yet. I'm still in the medium and large bits. Just stick it there. Okay. So one other way to go about doing this is getting your project out and going page by page. The reason I don't really recommend this for serendipity style glue books is because I do anyway, I find that I am setting up myself up for planning. My first page here, I need something that goes there. So I go to my basket and try to find something that goes there. So I try not to do that too much. It tends to make me start to plan and I'm trying to make a nice collage or a nice project. I'm trying to make everything pretty. I'm searching for stuff and I'm taking too much time searching for just the right spot for this. But, you know, here's my next page. I need to find something large-ish to go there. I'm going to stick that there. I'm only going to put one thing on the page that will help me from planning too terribly much, but I still tend to plan a little bit more than I really like. Go to the next page. That one's kind of almost finished, so I really can't put anything else on that one. So I need to find something that will go on this page. And you see I am kind of planning, kind of looking for things that would fit. So it's my least favorite one, but when you get down to the pages and you're running out of space, sometimes especially for the small, tiny little details. You need, I need a little detail, something to go here. And it can be kind of fun to just grab random bits and glue those in. So here's another one that's needs a medium-sized piece or another large piece. We'll glue that down, but only one piece to each page. It kind of helps me from planning. I need something on this page. I don't want another piece of text, so we'll do a pattern. We'll do it sideways this time so it's different. Go on to the next page. Oh, that's a big area. So let's use this huge piece here. And you'll notice in my collage fodder I have text and I have painted papers and I have little bits of all kinds of different things. Makes it more interesting, serendipity-wise. If you have a bunch of just magazine images, it tends to be it starts to get a little boring. Oh, this one doesn't have anything on it at all. Let's see here. Put that there. Which side is the right side? Which side is the wrong side? Doesn't really matter. A little bit of joss paper. That's pretty delicate, so I'm just going to pat it down. If I rub it, it'll tear all to shreds. And here's another little almost painted paper. Largish. Go to the next page. Try to find something. I'm getting to the point where I can use something small-ish on this one. So find something kind of cool. Oh, that's ticket would be interesting. Except I kind of want it there and I don't want to waste the little arms, so I'll put that someplace else. Let's see here. That's an interesting little bit. Just stick it there. Anyway. And then this one also, I can use a little bit of medium something. I don't want anything too large. And one way to stop yourself from doing planning and trying to find the kind of thing is to separate your bits into large, medium, small, and tiny. And that way you can just go to the bin that you need and find something pretty quickly, randomly, without too much thinking like I am doing. I probably should have done that. But anyway, so, and that's just, continue on. Find something else that's, it goes onto that page. I want those stars to show. That on there. And I do have sprinkled in my little bits some focal points, some small, some medium, not really large, because I don't really want those things to be covered up. I want medium ones I have in there. So continue on until you go. So My favorite one is to select a few bits. It's the visual journal type. It's my favorite. I like to go in and just pick out a few things that I want, that just catch my eye. Things that just happen to catch my eye. It's my favorite way to go about. That's a little bit of napkin and a little bit of color. And I do try to stop myself before I get too much because, you know, I can spend a whole lot of time grabbing little bits and not getting anything glued down. It's happened to me quite a few times. So I do try to just stop myself and go ahead and glue in a few bits at a time. That's a nice large bit for that because there's nothing else on that page. So it's all random. You can see that I'm just going page to page, not really adding a whole lot to a single page. I add something and then go someplace else. Here's another one that needs a large bit. And another one that needs a large bit. Let me turn my page here. And I just keep going until I run out of time. And I guess I should have flipped through this book to show how little of the book was actually done. Kind of did flip a little bit, but not really. There's a little glue right there. Not really. So that is it. It is a non-planning. It is really good for glue therapy. Just have some time. You just want to glue some stuff down. Oh, my fingers are full of glue. And my things are starting to stick to my fingers. So it is about that time where I'll have to stop and wash my hands. So hopefully that will be helpful to anyone who's a little stuck. And when I'm done, I put it away, and the next time I do random stuff again. Excuse me. Of course, I forgot to get water. Anyway, those are my processes. The first one, just find one little bit that catches your eye, add it to a page, a random page. It doesn't have to be in order, just any random page. Number 2, select some large bits, some medium bits, some small bits, and then add the large bits to a page, the medium bits over the large bits, and the small bits over the medium bits. Again, not doing a single page all at one time keeps me from planning. The third one is select a few items. It's my favorite. Select just a few items, large, medium, small, whatever catches my eye, and then glue those in randomly. Again, I don't put 2 things on a page. I get to thinking and I get to planning when I do that. I do make sure that I am flipping pages and gluing things randomly as I go. The fourth way is just to get a little pinch of random stuff. You're not really selecting the items, you're just getting a random bit. And if all your things in your basket are things you like, it should be a lot of fun to find random bits and put those together. And you have no idea. You didn't plan on putting those together. It's a serendipity, happy accident that those went together. And then the fifth one, which is my least favorite, you can go page by page, but it does set you up for planning. And then when I get to a point where I've got quite a bit of stuff on each page, that was flipping up, then I can go to my tiny little detail stuff and start adding little bits to the page to make things pretty fun. That looks like an interesting little bit. Let me just glue that down with my very glue-filled fingers. It's a tissue paper, so it needs to be delicate. The circles with the circles. And just put the tiny little details on the top so they don't get lost, they don't get covered up. I don't know if I like him or not, but yeah, just find the little details. I like little strips of things to go in spots that look a little odd. I don't like that. Little spots that need a little bit of something. That's what the little details and the little bits are for, to add to places that need a little something, a tiny something, something interesting. And then I just keep going and going and going until my book is so full of stuff that I'll have to go to another book. So that is it. It's a serendipity book. It's a happy accidents. It's non-planning. It's very random. You use up a lot of stuff. It doesn't take a whole lot of time. And it's a lot of fun to see what ends up together that you hadn't really planned to put together. You can see that there isn't a whole lot of focal points. You don't have to have a whole lot of focal points. It's still pretty interesting, just seeing the patterns and the text and things, painted papers put together. It's just kind of interesting. It's kind of fun. So I hope this helps. You know, the serendipity books are just fun. They are non-thinking, they're random, they're fast going. I don't think I had a whole lot in this book, but it's, I would say, half done at this point. So it goes pretty fast, and then you can go on to your next project, and you've gotten some glue therapy. It's relaxing, it's fun, and yeah. That's my process. I hope this helps you all. Good luck. Make sure that you have stuff in your baskets, your boxes that you really like. That makes all the difference. Good luck. Thanks for watching.